ee dowlad goboleedka koonfur galbeed Soomaaliya. ciidamada xoogga dalka waxay kaloo howlgal ay ka fuliyeen deegaanka Goofgaduud ee gobolka Baay iyagoo halkaasi ku dilay 20 xubnood oo ka tirsanaa kooxda qawaariijta oo ay ku jiraan horjoogayaal. howlgalkan ayaa sida la xaqiijiyay lagu dilay 2 horjooge sarsare oo ka tirsanaa qawaariijta. horjoogayaasha la dilay ayaa mid ka mid ah uu ahaa ninkii uu qaabilsanaa arrimaha sirdoonka ee kooxda qawaariijta ee gobolada koonfurta iyo bartamaha Soomaaliya. sidoo kale waxaa ka mid ah madaxii howlgelinta ee gobolada Baay iyo Bakool. muqdisho ciidamada amniga sida la socotaan todobaadkan waxay 6 qawaariisha ku dileen xarunta gobolka Banaadir kadib markii argagixisadu ay halkaasi weerar ku qaadeen. 5 qof oo rayd ah oo ku jira samafale aragga la ay halkaasi lagu dilay oo qawaariijtu ay dileen. isu geynta tirada qawaariijta al-shabaab ee laga dilay howlgaladii dhacay 7 maalmood la soo dhaafay waxay gaaraysaa 323 xubnood. taasi waxay muujinaysaa in ciidamada dawladda oo kaashanaya shacabka ay horumar weyn ka gaareen dagaalka lagula jiro qawaariijta, khasaare badan la gaarsiiyay qawaariijta. isla magaalada Muqdisho waxaa maalintii 3aad socda shirweynaha culimada Soomaaliyeed oo in ka badan 300 culimo ay ka qayb galayaan. madaxweynaha Jamhuuriyadda Federaalka ee Soomaaliya mudane Xasan Sheekh Maxamuud oo furay shirka waxa uu xusay sida shacabka iyo dawladda Soomaaliyeed ay ugu dhagan yihiin diintooda suuban, argagixisaduna ay uga been abuurteen. waxa kaloo madaxweynuhu xusay culimadii Soomaaliyeed ee lagu dilay Muqdisho 23 January 1975 kuwaasoo u shahiiday in dadka Soomaaliyeed ka difaacaan afkaartii qaldaneed ee hanti wadaag ee marhabaabinta diinta Islaamka. shirkaas waxaa la filayaa inuu beri soo gabagabaado la yiraahdo. 7 maalmood soo dhaafay waxyaabihii kale ee qabsoomay waxaa ka mid ah in wasaaradda warfaafinta dhaqanka iyo dalxiiska ay wakiilada beesha caalamka ee jooga Soomaaliya ku casuuntay kulan dawladdu ay ku soo bandhigtay xafiiska cusub ee isku xirka iyo mideynta fariimaha dawladda Government Communication Office kaas oo ka shaqayn doona isku xirka hay'adaha dawladda iyo fariimaha dawladda oo mideysan. isla 7 maalmood soo dhaafay gudahooda wasiirka arrimaha dibadda iyo jaaliyadaha ee dalka Yemen Dr. Ahmed Awad bin Mubarak ayaa booqasho 3 maalmood ah ku yimid booqasho magaalada Muqdisho ee xarunta dalka Soomaaliya. waxa uu kulamo lagu xoojinayo xiriirka labada dal la yeeshay mas'uuliyiin ka tirsan dawladda federaalka ee Soomaaliya. ugu dambeyntiina Soomaaliya waxaa todobaadkan lagu xusay maalinta warfaafinta dalka iyo xuska munaasabada konton guuradii ka soo wareegtay markii uu soo baxay wargeyskii ugu horeeyay af Soomaali ku soo baxay. I'm going to give highlights in English. The weekly highlights of military operations against Al-Shabaab and other national agendas. We're going to highlight the events that took place in the country for the last 7 days. We start with Galmudug. In the last 7 days, among the victories achieved by the Somali National Forces with the collaboration of the local people includes the capture of Elder, Haradere, and the Gal'ad in Galmudug state. The terrorists have been controlling these areas for more than 15 years. In another operation in Galmudug, more than 100 Al-Shabaab members have been killed by SNA when they attacked a military camp in Gal'ad. The SNA lost 7 soldiers, including the Deputy Commander of Danab Special Forces Unit, Major Hassan Mohammed Osman. Also, the SNA killed another group of 70 Shabab Kharijits in Berfarah area in Haradere district. The highlights of Hirshabelle. In Hirshabelle, several operations were carried out by the SNA against the Kharijits Al-Shabaab, killing over 90 terrorists who continued to test the wrath of Somali National Forces. The SNA also captured weapons and battle wagons from the terrorists. Southwest and Jubaland. In Baydhaba, Southwest State, the President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, announced that the next stage of the war against the Kharijits will be in Southwest and Jubaland states. In 2 separate operations in Southwest, more than 40 Al-Shabaab members have been killed by Somali National Army, SNA. In Lower Juba region, security forces crushed Al-Shabaab militants in the outskirts of Kismayo Port City and captured 10 other areas. Mogadishu. The National Security Forces killed 6 Al-Shabaab militants at Banadr Regional Administration Headquarters when Shabaab militants conducted a terrorist attack at the premises of BRA. The cowardly attack of the terrorists also resulted in the deaths of 5 civilians, including a blind humanitarian staff from the BRA. In general, the number of Al-Shabaab Kharijites of Al-Shabaab killed in the country by SNA in the last 7 days stands 323. On the other hand, the Conference of Somali Islamic Scholars is taking place for the third day in Mogadishu. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud opened the conference. The meeting is discussing the correct understanding of Islam, Islamic rule and modern government, as well as the establishment of the Supreme Council of Islamic Scholars of Somalia. During the last 7 days also, the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism hosted the international community to brief them about the newly established Government Communication Office, GCO, which is made to unify, strengthen and align the federal government of Somalia's communication strategies in the anti-Al-Shabaab war, raise awareness and combat extremist propaganda in Somalia. Last week also, the Foreign Minister of Yemen, Dr. Ahmed Awad bin Mubarak, made a 3-day visit to Somalia. He met with the Somali officials to strengthen the ties between the two countries. And lastly, this week Somalia marked the Somali Press Day and the 50th anniversary of the first newspaper in Somali language. Thank you very much. Now let me welcome the SRC to Somalia, Mr. Swift. Welcome, Mr. Swift.
Thank you. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Fiante. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my brother, His Excellency, the Minister of Communication, my brother Dawood, for giving me this opportunity to address the media. ATMIS, as you might know, it's the successor of AMISOM, and I'm sure that all of you are very familiar with AMISOM. But the change is that now we have a new UN Security Council resolution 26, 28, and 26, 70. That resolution gives us timelines and speak about the exit strategy of the mission, which means that at the end of 2024, ATMIS should hand over all securities responsibility to the federal government of Somalia. It is a commitment from the African Union, but also that commitment has been negotiated with the government of Somalia, with the support of the UN Security Council and the international community. The first phase of that resolution was supposed to be implemented in December 2022. By down 2,000 elements of because of the requests that has been submitted by the government of Somalia to the African Union to delay that drawdown of 2,000 up to June 23. That request has been endorsed by the African Union Peace and Security Council and submitted to the UN Security Council. And the Security Council approved that, which means that the phase one of our CONOPS will be implemented by end of June this year. But in total, taking into consideration the CONOPS, the exit strategy of ATMIS by December 24, it will be applied. I'm going to speak a little bit about what the minister mentioned, highlighted on the ongoing operation. I think this is something that the international community is appreciating for many reasons. Number one, if you look at in many countries, the force, they can be given instruction to go and fight, but here you find that the leadership, the principal, the president himself is on the front line, which means that there is a political will from the authority, the president, the prime minister, ministers, and all principals, they are on front line. This is number one. Number two, the ownership of this operation by all Somalis, because the Somalis, they feel that their enemy number one is Khawarij, Shabab, and number two is the drought. That's why the SNA, they are getting a lot of support from the ground, from people who are there in the ground in the federal member states. So ATMIS is supporting all those ongoing operations in terms of logistic support. We are using our air asset, our enablers, to provide air support, but at the same time, whenever something happens in terms of CASIVAC or MEDIVAC, so ATMIS is there to support them. We know that this requires a lot of resources and human resources, but also financial resources. So in terms of human resources, we know that the government of Somalia is committed to generate forces. We know that, in Eritrea, we had like 5,000 people who have been sent there to be trained, 3,000 in Uganda, and some people have been sent to Egypt to be trained there, and Turkey. So recently, 3,000 among those who have been trained in Eritrea came back to Mogadishu. And what ATMIS has been done, we are using one of our FOB, which is the biggest FOB in Maslah. Recently, we handed it over to the Ministry of Defense. We organized a big ceremony to hand over as the first step of the transferring of our responsibility to the FGS. So the State Minister of Defense was there. This used to be the biggest hub of ATMIS. So this FOB will be able to accommodate as much as possible among those people who have been trained recently in Eritrea. ATMIS, not only here in Mogadishu, but in all federal member states, is continuing to provide security and protection of civilians. In terms of patrolling, we are organizing a long-range patrol, short-range patrol, and also the police are providing a capacity building. Recently, in terms of politics, we are supporting the ongoing process of national reconciliation, and whatever political activity taking place here. So ATMIS, among the rest of the international community, we are supporting all those activities. Among them, the NCC. I think this is the best way to bring people together among the authority. And this is something we as international community, we are commending. The President Hassan Sheikh says he said that one of his priority, the reconciliation, national reconciliation, by bringing all president of federal member state together. So we observe the first NCC, the second, the third, and I'm told that in February going to be another round of the NCC. This is a big progress, and this is a strong message the President is sending to the international community. That's why recently, if you follow, we issue a statement, and that is a statement highlighted the efforts by Somalis leaders to advance priorities on peace building and state building, including the regular meeting of NCC. And we welcome the constitutional review process, federal resources and power sharing and reconciliation. Talking about reconciliation, all of us, we know that the President, as it has been highlighted, went to Baidoa recently to launch the dialogue, national dialogue. We know that many people among the principals from the office of the President, from the office of the Prime Minister, the Speaker himself was very active and proactive, and ATMIS play an important role to encourage the President of Southwest to be open-minded and welcome everybody, including the elders, the religious leaders, the traditional leaders, the youth, the women, and the opposition. We met with him, and we met also with the opposition leaders. They had a couple of concerns which we address them, including the security. So ATMIS is in charge of the security of this ongoing process in Baidoa, including the security and the protection of those leaders who move from here to Baidoa. Recently, we met with a huge number of journalists, and I can see that some of them, they are here today to discuss issues related to the mandate of ATMIS, but also to see how we can further collaborate and work closely with you as a journalist. Among the points raised there, if we could facilitate the journalists to go into the field and visit some of the liberated area, and we are willing to do that. We will discuss through the coordination of the ministry here. And but on top of that, also we are willing to take a couple of journalists. So then they will spend 1 or 2 days there on the ground and see how we are conducting our own operation, starting from the preparation and going to the field, so then they can see how we interact with the people and how we protect the people over there. You take this opportunity to condemn the attack yesterday and 2 days ago here in Mogadishu, mainly that around the office of the mayor of Mogadishu. This is not the best way to address issues, and we believe that all issues, all concerns should be addressed through dialogue. This doesn't have anything to do with your culture, your civilization, your religion, and the international law. Once again, thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وما سنتين. وقتي شركة الأنصار شركة